What's up, a cinemashogun here, and this story about the 3 Chiefs fans that froze to death in their friend's backyard is really starting to heat up. No pun intended. And now, the 5th person, the 5th friend, is speaking out. So the attorney for Jordan Willis is the homeowner. He's done multiple interviews now, okay? And in these interviews, the story has changed ever so slightly in certain points. I mean, at one point, the lawyer said that his client Jordan went to sleep as all of these guys were still downstairs playing video games and whatnot. And then the story changed to Jordan actually walked everyone to the door. But they must have come back inside and started playing video games or watching Jeopardy or whatever the hell they say these guys were doing. But this attorney revealed that there was a 5th friend, which is a detail that we did not know yet. And now he's even stated something along the lines of there being a couple of other people there. So there may be a 6th person, there may be a 7th person, hell, there may be an 8th person. We don't even know how many people were there anymore. And if you ask me, this is kind of, I don't know, it kind of seems like they're trying to muddy the waters. Hey, maybe you should back off of my client and take a look at everyone else that was there. And now all of a sudden, you know, the original story was that it was just the Jordan Willis and then the 3 individuals who died. But now there's a 5th person added, and there may be another person added as well. I want to go ahead and dive into these comments because I think the 5th person is starting to feel as if this lawyer for Jordan Willis is starting to throw him under the bus. And he kind of is. During one of the interviews, when the lawyer was questioned about drugs, he refused to answer that question and then immediately started talking about this 5th friend. Almost as if he was kind of trying to hint that, oh, the 5th friend is the one that brought the stuff. And it has already been stated that the 5th friend must have been the last person to see them alive because they were still alive when Jordan Willis went to bed and separated from the group. So obviously the 5th friend is feeling some type of way like, hey, I don't have anything to do with this. I wasn't the last person to see him alive. But let's go ahead and dive into this article and get some more information. Attorney John Percerno said on Monday that there was a 5th person hanging out at the home where Clayton McGinney, David Harrington, and Ricky Johnson were later found dead. Percerno says that at some point his client got tired and went to sleep while there were these guys in his home. And as I know now, there was a couple of other people in the home, says Percerno. So as I was just saying right there, now it goes from, oh, it was Jordan Willis and the 3 people who died. So, oh, it was Jordan Willis, this other guy, and the 3 people who died. And now the lawyer is saying there was a couple of other people in the home. Who are these other people? And why is it that this story has been going on for weeks now, but we're just finding out that there's other people involved? Where did all of these other people come from? Why have all of these other people been left out of the story? I'm questioning how much the families know. Like, did y'all know that there were this many people at the house? Did you all know who was hanging out with these 3 individuals? Like, because I'm confused as to how these extra people keep getting added to the equation. I mean, the 5th person was a big enough surprise, but now he's saying there's a couple of other people. Now, there hasn't been any more talk about this, but I'm kind of just sitting here waiting for the 6th or the 7th or the 8th person to be exposed. But then again, we also have to question, is this lawyer telling the truth? Because there's small little details that keep changing, and the story never adds up. It went from, oh, the last time Jordan saw these individuals was when he went to bed, and they were still at his house. And then it changed to, oh, Jordan actually walked them to the door and saw them leave the house. But they also claim that Jordan doesn't know when they left the house. It's all over the place. And, you know, when you have this conflicting information out there, it makes you look like a liar. If you have a straight story and you keep your story straight and the details don't change over time, people are going to think that you're being more truthful. But if your story changes, especially as quickly as this story did, people are going to start poking holes in everything you say. And that's what's happening right now. But let's go ahead and go forward. So the fifth friend is now speaking out. And he says that when he left, the three victims and Jordan Willis were still awake. He stressed that it's absolutely not true that he was the last person to see these three men alive. He then directed all further questions to his attorney. His attorney said that his client arrived at Jordan Willis's house around 7 p.m. that Sunday. He said his client was hanging out with the four others until about midnight. It's at this point when he left. According to the attorney, when his client left Jordan Willis's home, the four men were watching Jeopardy. Most importantly, he said they were still alive during those early hours on Monday. Okay, so this guy is claiming he left the house. Jordan, the homeowner, was still alive. The three people who died were all still alive. And they were just hanging out watching Jeopardy. I mean, I guess that's what guys do. You all gather together and get drunk and watch Jeopardy. But hey, it is what it is. To each his own. But he is trying to put it out there. He is stressing, hey, I am not the last person to see this guy alive. And Jordan Willis was damn sure not asleep when I left, because Jordan keeps trying to take himself out of the equation. He keeps trying to say, oh, well, I fell asleep and everyone was still playing dice and they were watching Jeopardy. They were playing video games. And then he goes, oh, wait. I was awake. I walked them to the door. I saw them leave. Story keeps changing, okay? The story keeps changing. And this fifth friend, if anything, he just wants it to be known that, hey, when I left the house, everyone was alive and everyone was awake. But let's go forward. So here's where things also get interesting. So Paserno, the attorney for Jordan Willis, he said multiple times already that Willis didn't receive any messages, any text messages, that he only got one Facebook message. So the attorney for Jordan Willis is claiming that no one called Jordan and no one texted Jordan. And I find that extremely hard to believe. Extremely hard. You have three individuals. If one family maybe didn't text about one guy, damn sure another family is going to text about the other. So you got three individuals missing for days on end. I would assume that people tried to get in contact with them, and they tried to get in contact with Jordan. So everyone, the family members of all of these three individuals, claim that they were contacting Jordan and that he was reading the messages, refusing to answer back, and the only way they could get him to come to the door, after knocking, calling, texting, messaging, and even breaking into his basement, the only way they can get him to come to the door was when law enforcement came. Then all of a sudden he heard everything. But here is the real kicker. The fifth friend is claiming that he got text messages and calls from the families of the three men who died. And he's claiming that when he got those text messages asking where these people were, that he texted Jordan himself. So now not only are the families of the three men who died claiming they called and texted Jordan, now the fifth friend is claiming that he was trying to get in contact with Jordan as well, because the family members got in contact with him. Now, who do you believe now? If the fifth friend is claiming, hey, the family members of these three individuals reached out to me, don't you think they would have reached out to Jordan as well? And now, not only do we have the family claiming that they called and texted Jordan, but now the fifth friend is like, hey, I called and texted the guy too. And I got no response. No response. So, if you ask me, and I've tried my best to give this Jordan fella the benefit of the doubt, but things are starting to add up. Things are starting to pile up, and you are looking more and more guilty by the minute. I don't know if Jordan was guilty of doing anything, but he damn sure looks like he's guilty right now. So how are we feeling about this, everyone? I am so excited to see what everyone has to say about this down in the comments below, because this is really starting to spice up. And you know, I try to be as fair as possible. I don't like witch hunts. I don't want to be out here blaming people for something they may have not done. But you can't sit here and say that things aren't starting to pile up. Things are starting to look really bad for Jordan. And Jordan's lawyer is not doing him any favors by going on the news and changing the story around every day. Every time the lawyer pops up, the details change. And another thing that stuck out to me is during one of Jordan's lawyer's first interviews, he stated that Jordan had left the house sporadically. That Jordan had left the house and come back multiple times within the time span of his friends being missing or his friends being dead in his backyard. Now he has changed and said, oh, Jordan left his bedroom sporadically. Jordan left his room sporadically. Now, how does that make sense? He literally went from saying Jordan left the house sporadically, didn't notice that anything was wrong. And now he's changing it to, oh, I meant Jordan left his room. What? That's not an update that you give. When you're on the news, you don't say, yeah, Jordan left his bedroom 6 times while he was walking around the house, making, you know, glasses of water and eating grapes and walking around with empty wine glasses and earbuds so he could pretend that he didn't kill his friends. I'm sorry. Sorry about that last part. Sorry. But it's like now the lawyer's trying to say, no, Jordan never left the house. I was wrong. I'm sorry for putting that information out there. Jordan only left his bedroom. So it's the small little details that keep changing. And of course, that one detail of, oh, Jordan has no idea when these friends left his house, but the last time Jordan saw them was when they left his house. And it's like, what? What? And then you get mad when people start pointing fingers and people start assuming things. But as of right now, I don't know where this one's going, folks. We got this 5th friend speaking out. The 5th friend is like, hey, don't put that on me. Don't put this nonsense on me. Y'all were alive and well, hanging out watching Jeopardy when I left. Okay, I ain't got shit to do with this. And I don't know. We haven't been able to see or actually hear directly from the 5th friend. But then again, we haven't seen or heard directly from Jordan. I've seen pictures of him, but I haven't heard directly from him. But I'm more inclined to believe this 5th friend. You know what I mean? Because not only is Jordan's story so unbelievable and it keeps changing, but this 5th friend also claiming that he called and texted Jordan. The 5th friend claiming that everyone was alive and okay when he left. There's just details here that just keep adding up. They keep adding up. And now, you know, Jordan automatically went and hired an attorney. And Jordan has moved out of the house. So he claims it's for his protection, but I don't think there's anyone out there really trying to get this dude. So, I mean, I'm not trying to just blame this guy for this situation, but the more and more you look at it, the more and more it looks like something sinister happened here. The more and more it looks like Jordan had knowledge of something that was going on. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the channel via CashApp. I'll have my CashApp in the pinned comment. You could also donate via Super Thanks, or for free, you could help the channel by liking the video, subscribing, ringing that notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all really soon in the next one.